our staff ministers, and he comes to us on Zoom down in the Palm Beach area. Tony is a dynamic and humorous speaker, a gifted teacher, and a compassionate counselor. His messages are inspiring and relevant to today's world. A native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Tony attended Pennsylvania State University, earning a Bachelor of Arts degree in clothing, textiles, and marketing. Reverend Tony earned his master's degree in consciousness studies at the Holmes Institute and became a minister of religious science in 2012. He has extensive experience in community engagement, working in HIV prevention, education, and care within communities of color. He worked for the San Francisco AIDS Foundation as an HIV/STI prevention program manager for over 10 years, from 2003 to 2013, serving the African American gay community in San Francisco. He also served as Associate Director of Community Events and Engagement for the San Francisco AIDS Foundation from 2016 to 2021. He is an outreach staff minister for our beautiful center in Monterey. He serves the Palm Springs area, and this supports Reverend Tony's desire to help and serve the Coachella Valley as a speaker, mentor, and spiritual advisor. He provides much needed support and guidance as a member of the Brothers of the Desert. So let's welcome Reverend Tony Bradford.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, I'm crying from that song, and I'll get to that in a minute. But good morning, warm blessings from Palm Beach or Palm Springs. Denise had me in Florida, but I'm in California. But my love to all of you there who are present in the sanctuary, those online, my Zoom family, and Facebook, and those of you who will join us later on Monterey CSL YouTube. This Sunday celebration, I know, is holding the high watch here and there, and we're knowing that Reverend Robert is feeling the flow and love from us today. He's already texted me and said, chill out. So thank you, Cindy. You covered everybody. I was going to say thank you and all the good stuff too. And I just want to say ditto. Some of you, if you remember last week, Reverend Robert said, I was going to be Amber today. As the tag team staff or ecclesiastical staff, we are. I'm filling in this week, and Amber's going to take another Sunday. So when he asked me this week, can you do it on Sunday? The theme just washed over me. This is something I have goosebumps just talking about it. So I'm going to start out talking about or telling you what we're doing here for the month of March. I'm kind of wrapping up the CSL themes for the year of 2025 and March. And it's the flow of coming and going. So kind of like that revolving door, the flow is always coming and going. So what that also resonated with me is the flow and how we're standing in the flow. So keep that in mind. So as I begin my talk, or as I go through the talk, I'm going to touch on the spiritual tools that are present for us to enhance our standing in the flow. And I'm going to drum this in every time you hear from me, that ATM. We'll get to that in a meeting. The spiritual reading that you just heard from Meg. Intervention, and this is what we know as science of mind, scientists or practitioners of science of mind. You don't even have to do their intervention in person. You don't have to set the chairs and have the family sitting in the room and they walk in and you jump on them. You can do an intervention by just doing a treatment. You don't have to be in the same state. You don't have to be in the same room. Start your intervention for anything and anyone that's going through something. You can connect with them with a prayer. So that musical selection, the singer is called Teeks. He sounds like one of the songs that's on the radio right now, but it's called Wash Over Me. There are many songs that have that wash, flow, river, and as we go through the talk today, I'll touch on a lot of them, but there is a metaphysical spiritual word or a spiritual knowing with the word wash and flow. And we're going to talk about it today. So, the weekly affirmation. Later on, when it's posted, again, one of the spiritual tools we talk about is affirmations. The one that I'm going to leave with you today, please, please, if you have your little pencils, write it down. If not, come back and listen to the service on our YouTube. And that's just something, a gift for all of us. And every time we do these talks, we want you to go back and see what you can add to your spiritual practice for the week. So let's talk about my talk. Let's talk about my talk. Let's talk. Standing in the flow. So we're going to start with Ernest Holmes, our founder. And then I'm going to remind you of a spiritual truth that there's a list as practitioners of this philosophy. There's a whole list of spiritual principles and spiritual truths that we know, and we know that we know. And we're going to talk about that and give you a definition of how New Thought stands on the flow and the flow of God. That's basically where it is. And then I'm going to have some examples of flow, and I just want you to sit back and kind of do that. I didn't think of that, or that's what that means, or to you. Hopefully, my visual conversation will help you spark that memory. So, Ernest Holmes, and this comes from, I know you can't, not a lot of you can see it, but let's see, Living the Science of Mind, trying to get to that camera. Another book that Ernest Holmes wrote, kind of explaining the Science of Mind text. So it's The Living of Science of Mind. The very last page, page 434, is a full page meditation. And I'm just going to read a piece of it. So again, that's something I want you to remember and come back. If you have that Live in the Science of Mind text, you can also Google it and pull it up and find the specific page. And this will be your meditation for the week. And so Ernest Holmes speaks and says quietly to himself or to ourselves, there's one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. It is flowing through me, circulating in me, and I am one with its rhythm. My heart beats with the pulsation of the universe in serenity, in peace, and joy. And that's just only one piece of it. So already it's telling you, this is powerful. This is a powerful tool in your meditation to connect you with the energy and that flow that life is. So, and when I talk about that flow or that thing called, or whatever we call it, Reverend Cindy, you know, there's only one of us. You started, you named all the names for God in your treatment, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can leave. She's already done it. But what we're reminded as we are practitioners, and especially the teachers of the Science of Mind, that there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. That's a spiritual truth. It is there. That's why we're called Science of Mind scientists, or it's called Science of Mind. Science is something that can be replicated, can be proven over and over again. Anybody can do it, and we know this stuff works. So that's where we are going to start, or I'm going to continue on my talk. I have double computers here. So as I prep for my talks, I kind of also use some of the tools like Living the Science of Mind, the Science of Mind textbook. And one of the ones I picked up in ministerial school is the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. And it's a volume in the Charles Fillmore Reference Library. Okay, so it also, if you hear something, or there's a word that you want to get a metaphysical definition of, this dictionary helps you kind of flip the scripts or see the mirror image of it. So on page 11, and I looked up the definition for God: Spirit, Jehovah, Holy Spirit, the thing itself, flow of ideas in mind. So that's kind of where we are talking about. And again, we realize that this is something greater, right, than us. We all agree there is that thing out there. So how do we connect with it? So as the textbook goes on, it is through ideas that we know God. They might be thought of as a bridge by which we unite ourselves with him or her, or as divine messengers sent from him or her to us to inform us of him or her's nature and of the nature of the world. So the world is God's idea. That's wonderful. A creation of God was in the form of ideas. It was ideal. I love that part. Man works with divine ideas to mold and shape the substance of God within you and me. So isn't that a beautiful definition? So when we talk about, and we're hearing the same theme, right? Of flows, of connecting with that spirit that's out there. We truly know it's there. And we say yes. There are millions of words. I shouldn't say millions. There's definitions or terms or conversations about God, spirit. Sometimes for some people, they can't even speak the word because it's so powerful. But I'm going to give you a couple of examples in that or ahas that I discovered in my spiritual journey. So, a feeling, scientific fact. Did you ever watch the Weather Channel? Late at night, you're like flipping through, and you're like, the guy has a nice outfit on. She has a nice dress. Let me kind of listen to what's going on. So I grew up on the East Coast in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I never understood where the weather came from. And until I moved to the West Coast, and they would talk about that airstream. Oh, it's coming from Hawaii, or it's coming over coming over and hitting California, Washington, Seattle, but it's going to be the snow when it hits the East Coast. Well, that airstream, that flow goes all the way around our planet. It's something that's always there. It changes, it moves. It is constant. It is there. We know it. Sometimes we don't think about it as lay people, but guess who uses it? Pilots, weather folks, astronauts, people in places that use that flow also to direct and calculate what's going to happen in the weather, but also they use it to as transportation. So have you ever been on the airplane and you're late, and you're late to take off, and something happened, somebody had bad luggage or whatever it is, and you started your travel journeys off the scheduled time. And then the pilot comes on and says, oh yeah, I'll make up the time in the air. And I used to think, okay, he's going to waste a lot of gas. Is he going to go faster? Well, he gets on that airstream, or he gets on the flow, especially going from West Coast to East Coast. Sometimes at the flow, if he catches it right, you end up early at your gate. Coming the other way, you can get stuck, or you can bump up against that flow. It might take you a lot longer to get to the West Coast. But again, that is available for those in the conscious mind who understands that. He is trained. He's done it a million times. I'm not even going to get onto that plane going up in the air. That's a whole nother lesson. But you are there also. You are conscious and agreeing. Okay, this plane is doing its thing, and that pilot is saying, I'm going to use what's available to get us to where we need to be. Well, that same airflow is available in the ocean, on top and in the bottom. ocean captains and mariners have used the flow to get across the seas to get to the other side. Sometimes they just kind of got to go with the flow because there's nothing they can do. They also can catch an airflow to kind of get them to where it is. And let's go below. All right, everyone, think of Finding Nemo. If you have remember Dory and how she got on that flow, there was an underground travel, or it looked like a subway. That's what I remember as a kid. It is available to everyone and anyone down under the ocean. Animals and plankton and you name it, they all use that flow to get to someplace. I was watching again, me and Bad TV, the Animal Planet, and they talked about how the cold water and flow from the southern hemisphere hits the warm waters right at the point of in South Africa, and how fascinating it is, and just how here's the good thing, how abundant it is, how much life is there, how much joy is there, how much food is there. And that's wonderful. And animals know what it is, and they end up there. So again, there is that natural law, that scientific truth that people, animals, all of us who know and believe can tap into. So the second thing I want to say, Tai Chi. Isn't that what we do every Monday? Right, raise your hand if you're, I can't see you in the sanctuary. Tai Chi, right? That's an energy. We're all come together as a group and you're moving that, what they call chi or energy around. You're connecting with the people around you. Tai Chi, yoga, if you ever gone to a prayer organization or a temple that they're all praying together, the energy and the lift that you get when you go in that room is it just blew me away the first time I got there. You come in, you're already ready, you're prepared, you got on your yoga outfit, you got your mat. You are preparing yourself for that connection with that flow that's already always there. And again, it's a scientific fact that the people who really can feel it, and it permeates their body, and it gives them energy, and it connects them with God. I love how they call it chi energy, but we know as metaphysicians that is connecting with God. And that is an activity can be done anywhere and anyway. And chi, karate, yoga is one example. The next example I'm going to give, and it's for you mothers, fathers, grandmothers, and you're sitting having your tea, you're looking out the window, and you see your kid in the backyard trying to master a skateboard, right? Or ride a bike, or twirl a baton. It's an inanimate object or a thick object or some piece that they're trying to master. He falls, he gets up, he tries again. He falls, he gets up, he tries again. And we've all kind of done that, learning to ride a bike. But when you watch a child, again, we heard it in the song. Oh, I'm going to cry. We heard it in the song when he talked about the feeling of his mother and his family. That's that abandonment which you just let go of everything and you just go back to that simple time in your life, and you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tap into whatever it is that makes my bottom of my shoes connect with that skateboard. And then all of a sudden, he's riding that skateboard and he has won with it. He flips it and whatever. I always used to think it was the van shoes that you have to have the perfect shoes to learn how to skateboard. But that's bike riding. That's any of that aerial stuff that you just wonder, how do they stick a landing? How do you do this? It takes practice. Remember I said we're practitioners. It takes a belief. It takes, okay, I did it. Well, I know I can do it again. And then you look around, you're like, okay, well, he can do it. I can do it. So again, you tap into that scientific truth of flow and love any and every time, and you see the demonstration, you see the connection, then you're one with it, right? You're one with that. And that is available to you 24/7. So last story, and this is for Reverend Cindy and Lynn. One of my favorite movies, A River Runs Through It, Brad Pitt. River runs through it. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. Okay. When I was a little kid and I watched that movie, it was some of the most amazing scenery. I grew up in the city, so I had never seen Montana trees and ocean, but that river, the whole scenery. Yes, Brad helped emphasize it, but what I want to say is, as they know up there, you can go stand in that river, have on your gear, and that fish is not going to get on your line if you are not mentally ready. Okay, what happens is that you got the outfit on, your wellies come up to here, you got your gear, you in your favorite spot. Again, that's preparing yourself mentally to be one with that flow and one with the energy of the whatever's going to catch what you're going to do down there. So one of the quotes or one of the examples that come out of that movie, I want to read to you, and it kind of I hope it makes Reverend Cindy and Lynn smile. Like many fly fishermen in western Montana, where the summer days are almost Arctic in length, I often do not start fishing until the cool of the evening. Then, in the Arctic half-light of the canyon, all existence fades to a being with my soul, and memories and sounds of the big Blackfoot River and a 4-count rhythm, and the hope that a fish will rise. Eventually, all things merge into one, and the river runs through it. Ooh. Just gave me goosebumps. You prepare for it. You're there consciously. You're like, let's leave town and we're going fishing. And that's another example of, if you're connected with that water and that flow, you tapped into it, and it happens every time. If you're not ready for it mentally, you're not going to catch anything. And they're giggling. If you could see them on Facebook, people go, "Oh, they weren't. They were biting today." No, you weren't. You were one with the fish that day. So, lastly, I want to talk about, and just kind of one thing that I learned a lot in this flow, and the song also said something about sin and washing over me. So what I want to leave with you too is that you're standing in that flow of spirit. Um, uh, in the past, water's always used, right, in baptisms, to kind of remind you of the focus or the religion that is baptizing you. Also, as he said in his singing, go to the river and wash my sins away. So one thing I learned is sins means missing the mark. It is not that you did anything wrong, that, oh my God, I made a mistake or whatever. No, missing the mark of knowing God, knowing whose you are. So that flow or that baptism or going to the river, just think about it. That's just reminding you of who and whose you are and your connection with that flow of life with God. Remember, back to our spiritual principle. It's a truth that never changes, right? That there is a power of good greater than all of us, and it's in the universe, and we can use it. So as I end, and I did pretty good. I didn't. It was like an hour talk when I first started. Your call to action. I want you to use the tools that I talk about, and I talk about all the time. Affirmation. You're going to get that. It's going to pop up on the screen. That affirmation, again, is to remind you that there is this universal flow of energy. It's coming and going, and you can tap into it all the time. Thank you, Irene. I am open to the effortless flow of life, and I embrace the opportunities that come my way with grace and ease. All right. So again, that's your affirmation. Treatment, prayer. That's how you connect. That's how you do, especially the first 2 steps of our Science of Mind treatment. Your recognition, you recognize that there is that spirit, that truth, that energy, and unification, that you and I are one with it. You got those 2. you're good. You're good to go. The last thing is meditation. So remember that from the Science of Mind textbook, excuse me, the Living the Science of Mind book, the last page, which is 434, there's a meditation from Ernest Holmes. I want you to look it up, come back and get the page if you need it. And that again is a tool. Say that put that in your spiritual practice this week. Use that, even if you can do it once. Again, just let it wash over you. It is very powerful and very special, and it's very scientific, and it's proven. So as I end, I want you to look to the person beside you. And those of you who are sharing a screen, there's somebody sitting next to you. You've created that container of flow or energy next to you. So say to the person next to you also, if you're sitting in the sanctuary, left and right, I am standing in the flow. Do we need to do it again? Denise, make sure they're doing it. I am standing in the flow. And what I know, where two or more are gathered and agreeing, it is done. And so it is. I got God bumps. So as I wrap this up, and I'm just going to pick up where Reverend Cindy left. This is a powerful day. It made me cry, but that's what energy and love and the love of God within does. So not quickly, as I stand here and recognize and know the truth that there's only one life, one love, and it could be in person, it could be on Zoom, it can be just anywhere. I know that I'm one with that. And the same for me is the same for each and every one of you. I'm giving thanks today for the word, the opportunity. Thank you, Amber, for switching with me and knowing that she is standing in love and light, just with the rest of us, the ecclesiastical team that is here at the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living. Far and wide. It is always one love and one energy that flows around, and I tap into it and know the truth that I am whole, perfect, and complete 24/7. And that energy and that love is available for me to tap in 24/7. I roll over in the middle of the night. I stand in a prayer in the morning in the shower. I can tap into it, and I know that truth, that greater love, that greater universe is there for me to use. So I give thanks for my word today. I give thanks for each and every one of you showed up, because your energy and your love is something we need in this world. I give thanks. Please help me seal it by saying all together, and so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Tony. That was so wonderful. So we have our marching orders to practice our spiritual practices. So let's participate in one of my favorite practices, which is in giving from the heart with your love, your service, your time, and your money. So we will say our abundance affirmation together. Please join me. I recognize the presence of God within as the source of my abundance. Out of my abundance consciousness flows everything I could desire in life. With gratitude and thanksgiving, I now participate in the flow of uninterrupted abundance. This prosperous experience is evidence of my abundance consciousness. And so one of the things about giving is, particularly in a spiritual community, is you give from the heart generously because you feel so blessed by the experience of belonging. And there are many ways to give. You can always mail in a check to the center at 400 West Franklin here in Monterey. You can text to give on the phone, which is a very easy way to do, and that number is on the screen. or you can just go to our website, montereycsl.org online, and click on the donate button. So one of the things about our center is we do food. That's got to be our motto, because we always have lovely food gatherings, and today is Fifth Sunday potluck. So I invite everyone to stay and share in the feast that is getting composed and laid out on the potluck table today. Also, one of the things that is amazing about the themes is that it brings to mind a particular way of focusing for the month. So April theme is fertilizing our future. And what a great theme, because it's spring and Easter is on the horizon. So please go to visit our website, or if you are subscribed, you can subscribe to our newsletter for our weekly activities and quotes and advice that's going on in the larger CSL community. Many things are happening online through our home office. So I invite our Facebook and YouTube audience to return next week, when our theme topic will be enriching our soil of possibilities. Ooh. And thank you so much for being with us, either real time or asynchronously. That's the beauty of the internet. You could do church every day of the week. But thank you all to our Facebook and YouTube audience for being with us, and come back.